I think they did a good job explaining to us what's, up next, and, we go from there.
Residents living in a Fargo high-rise, the one downtown, the only one, were at a meeting tonight to learn about the fate of their apartments. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero was told to leave that meeting before discussions even began. But before leaving, he spoke with tenants who say they're concerned.
Plans were first announced months ago by Fargo Housing and Redevelopment Authority to sell the Lashkowitz high-rise. A staple of the city skyline for decades, 3 meetings were held this week for the 247 residents who call the high-rise their home. Tommy Jones says he's been living there for 8 years.
We all had basically become a family, and, it's hard to lose a family,
Jones says he's attended all the meetings discussing the building's future.
It is what it is, I feel like a housing authority would do the best they can to make everybody happy and safe.
A few residents I spoke to outside the high-rise said that they have some concerns about finding new housing and at least having enough time to move. But as soon as I stepped inside the meeting, I was asked to leave. Fargo Housing Executive Director Matthew Pike was not clear in a phone conversation as to why we should leave. This agency is publicly funded, receiving money from the federal and state governments. And minutes before, Deputy Director Jill Elias gave us permission to be present after declining an on-camera interview. She said a few residents had left because of our presence. A flyer says Fargo Housing is in the process of getting permission from the United States Departments of Housing and Urban Development to sell the building. One resident outside the high-rise says she doesn't like the decision to move.
I'm hoping that when I move, I'll have help. Other people are wondering, too, about that, because they're not going to give us any ample time to move.
The agency says funds aren't available for the extensive renovations the building needs. In Fargo, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Fargo Housing says the earliest it will begin relocating residents is January of 2020. They also say they will help residents find another apartment building to live in and help with moving expenses.